1, 2, 3. There we go. Now we're working. Sweet. We are good to go. Fast. There we go. Bear with me, people. I'll be back with you in just a sec. Hold up a minute. Gonna get the community post rolled out and we will get cracking. Two seconds. Okay. That's done. That's done. Hold up, people. Sorry, bear with me. Okay. We are good to go. We're good to go. Where's my live stream chat at? It's not showing up. Okay. Sorry about the wait. All right, today, look at you guys already in here. 5 of you. Liking the stream already. I love it. I can't even see the chat. It's not loading. There we go. JVD, Ariane, Sunny. What's up, guys? Good to be back. Sorry about the little wait there. I can't spell, apparently. So, apologies for that. But we're here, baby. We are here. We're good to go. You know it, man. Ariane, you know, man. Like the stream. You know how it is. Helps every little bit, man. John Jones is like you're telling me, brother. I mean, this is what I mean. People ask him the most straightforward questions and he'll respond with basically a nothing burger of an answer. So I don't know if you saw the clip. This is kind of why I titled the stream this, because it's semi-clickbait, but also because it's driving the conversation. He had another seminar in Thailand and someone asked him when he's fighting Tom and he said, oh, me and Tom both have our agreements with the UFC. We're waiting for them to announce. I don't believe that for a word. I think we know what game he's trying to play. And from the reputable source we have in Ariel Helwani, we know that, Jones asked for an outrageous figure and the UFC said, yeah, we're going to pay it. We're going to pay it. And he immediately ducked out of that, didn't expect them to come back with that answer and says, no, I want more. And he's moving the goalposts. And the reality is, if the UFC matched that new asking price, he's going to do the exact same thing again. He's playing the never-ending game. It's never going to be enough money for him for the sole reason that John Jones does not want to fight. That's the reality of this situation, in my opinion. So, of course, the jury is still out. We don't know until we know. But if I'm in Dana's position, I understand it's a tricky one because you want that fight at the end of the day. John Jones has all the leverage here in this situation, so it does kind of suck. It does. Equally, part of me just says strip him, right? If I'm in Dana White's position, get the division moving. You've got your biggest heavyweight talent and one of your biggest stars in the sport in Tom Aspinall, who could be so much. He could be up here in terms of star power. He really could if he was allowed to fight and given the undisputed championship that he deserves. But he's being held back. So it's just a messy situation, man. But I mean, if John Jones has any semblance of truth to what he was just talking about, that makes it interesting. It has to be said. That makes it interesting. So we'll see. It's sad they won't strip him. I'm assuming you mean. Also, your MMA is a very good market to get into. Exactly, right? And Aspinall is just innately an accessible figure to the masses purely for the reason that he's an exciting fighter. That's the difference maker. If you can't transcend... I mean, this is kind of the beauty of fighting in a lot of ways. If you can't transcend the media game through your words because you struggle with English, for example, like Petr Yan, let's say. He's probably the best example of that. If you're damn good at fighting and you're fun to watch, it doesn't matter. People will love you just for that. And that's why Petr Yan is a fan favorite, despite the fact his English is basically terrible. And only in recent years has it started to get better. But that's never mattered in terms of his notoriety and star power because he's fun to watch. And the same thing goes for a guy like Tom Aspinall, though obviously he's an English speaker, so not as big of a deal. What, according to you, should be Aspinall's unification, but it should be John Jones, but it's not, as you say. So Arian, I'd probably go for something like, Cyril Gane's the only one that even excites me, and even then, this is the problem with the heavyweight division. There's just no one good enough to compete with him. I stand by it that Curtis Blaydes was probably his toughest matchup outside of John Jones, in my opinion. I think in that division, Curtis Blaydes was stylistically always going to be his hardest fight, and he put his lights out inside a minute. So with that in mind, I'd say Cyril Gane, but I think he knocks him out. I don't even think he needs to submit him. Even though I think that's how it would be the easiest route to victory for him, I think he would submit him easy, take him down in the same way that Jones did, and make quick work. I think he'd knock his ass out anyway. So tough one. What's up, George? Good to have you back, brother. Could I beat Craig Jones in a chess game? What is his elo? I mean, I definitely probably couldn't. I'm not that great at chess. If I took it seriously, I probably could get better. But I like playing it. I've always known how to play. I think everyone should know how to play chess. You know, American MMA is always going to be there, and he wants to expand, but it's like he's scared of Europe or something. And the same thing with Canada. Mike would sell out arenas. I wouldn't go that far. Mike Mallet is a big star in Canada, so maybe. And obviously, we know how much passion they had for GSP back in the day, so I'm sure some of that would be channeled back through. But I don't know, man. I mean, they are expanding to Europe. I think it's Africa they're missing out on. That's what I don't understand. I feel like they've actually made good inroads into Europe in the past. That's not really an issue, but I don't know. Charles and Pereira, huge stars without knowing that much English. Exactly. I mean, Pereira says Shama. That's all he needs to say. Veronica Hardy posted something saying, I ain't looking, man. I ain't looking. I'm not about that. Not about that no more. I mean, I never was. I never was. Anyway, she's a fighter, bro. Do you know what I mean? I'm not there for the photos. You know, I'm there to watch them fight. What's up, Wolf? Good to have you back, brother. Good to have all of you guys back. Craig Jones is nasty chess. I don't know. Is he? And Canada only sell out? Yeah, they probably will. I mean, innately a fight night would, to be fair. You're not wrong. Mike Mallet could probably main event a fight night. You're not. A stadium, though, I don't know. A stadium is different. Arenas, sure. I ain't looking, JVD. I'm not about that. Get your mind out the gutter, brother. I don't know. I feel like he would have. What, Craig Jones? What, be good at chess? Or, I don't know. Ngannou versus Aspinall, who wins? Tom Aspinall. And I love Ngannou. In fact, I'm writing the video on him as we speak. That's basically done now in terms of the script. It shouldn't have taken this long, but it has. Just had some live stuff and work stuff, to be honest with you. But the Ngannou video I'm just finishing up today in terms of the script. So still a lot to do, obviously. A lot to do. It's going to be a big video, but it's going to be sick. But Aspinall, I have to pick Aspinall in that situation. Even prime for prime. I mean, Aspinall's in his prime now. Ngannou probably isn't. But obviously, he has that equalizer in the power. So there is that. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard. You cannot say with any certainty when you've got two of the hardest hitters in the sport. Probably the two hardest hitters at that weight class. So with that in mind, I don't know. It's tough. Africa has a lot of underrated talent. They love combat over there. I think the reality is they just need a platform and a route to the UFC. I think this is the issue. You don't have the infrastructure put in place to allow these people to succeed. This is why you don't have... Perfect example of this is the USA in something like football or soccer for those out there. It's exactly the same thing. Football / soccer in England is a grassroots game. Anyone can play. It's the working class sport. It's what it's known for. You don't need to have loads of money to get into it. In America, essentially, you have to pay to play. That's why you don't get any good talent coming out of America very often, despite the fact it's one of the biggest nations in the world. So logically, it should have that infrastructure, but it doesn't because it's very much a pay-to-play sport, and it's the complete opposite in somewhere like most of Europe, where you have scouts and you're good enough, you'll find a way through. So it's a completely different ballgame. And I think the same thing as in MMA, that's the comparison I'm making, is in Africa, it's not necessarily pay to play, but there's just no roots for these people coming through, these seriously talented people. And if you look at a guy like Francis Ngannou, the only even reason he is where he is today is because he escaped, the sand mines of Cameroon and trekked all the way through Morocco and then into Spain and then into France, where he was found by his at the time head coach at the MMA factory, and then the rest is history. But he was in France for that to happen. If he stayed in Cameroon, he would not be here where he is today. He would probably still be there working the sand mines. So these guys don't have this opportunity. So hopefully we'll see something change in that regard. I need to focus on driving. It's all up, man. Yeah, don't crash. Ngannou Jones, who wins? I don't know. I want to say John Jones in that one as much as I hate the man. Just the takedowns. But I don't know. Francis's wrestling has improved, no? Did I watch the women's MMA fight last night? Yeah. Good one. It's actually not a bad fight night, except for the main event cancellation. It's fuck what Erin Blanchard was talking about, though. I mean, I think that's... I don't know if she knew or not. I'm sure she did. She must have been informed on the reason that Macy Barber was pulled out of that fight at the very last second. And to say what she said in the post-fight interview was pretty despicable. I mean, if my opponent had a seizure, I wouldn't go on the mic in the press conference gloating and talking about how, she's a mess and needs to get her life in order. I mean, that's not what I'd say about someone who had a damn seizure, but each to their own. I think that's Wolf, yeah. It's also not popular here. Yeah, true. That's true. But I disagree with that to an extent. I think it's growing in the same way MMA is growing in the UK. No one is interested anymore. That's a shame because it's the best sport in the world. And I love mixed martial arts, but football will always be number one. Did I watch the countdown? I don't watch them. Technically, I do, but mainly on the basis that I use them for footage. So in that regard, I do. That's why I can name you so many UFC events. Like going back to probably from 250 to now, I could probably name you the main event on most pay-per-views. Not all of them, but most of them. Mostly because of the fact I spend so much time editing with those pieces of footage, so I know the events. Like I'm just pretty good at that now. Not all of them, but most. What's up, man? What's up, Terex? How you doing, man? Anxiety attack, most likely. I heard it was a seizure. Again, we haven't got a confirmation of that, unless I'm crazy. Did she have that done? I'm not sure. Growing order will never beat football. Oh, well, no, of course not. Football is the biggest sport in the world, and it probably always will be. What did I eat today? I had a wrap from the shops, and I just cooked some pasta up right before I jumped on stream. So, get those carbs in, man. I sucked playing. I'm going to say football because I don't like the word soccer, but I love watching only the World Cup stuff because I'm a casual. Get into Premier League, man. It's the best league in the world. Extreme Max, what you got for me, man? Specky, I hope you're well, brother. Should have asked. Goes for all of you. What have you got for me? Oh, more knockouts? I don't have my sound on, so you guys might not be able to... Oh, no, you should be able to hear it. Hang on. Yeah, let me get this working. Okay. Wait, no, you can. My mic is working. Okay, let's try desktop audio. Wait, is this one? I don't know. We don't have desktop audio. I don't know why. Is this against Ali again? Are you just whooping him? Hajka Liddell, what are we doing here? Okay, now that's just a messy one, bro. What have we got here? I don't know why my camera's not on, by the way. Okay, actual W matchmaking here. Oof. Fucking hell, man. Classic. Okay, that is, yeah. I'm flying through these, sorry. Only because I don't know why my audio is not working on it, and it's annoying. I never fuck with Pereira on this game. I don't like him. That's kind of cold. I've never liked playing as him. He feels too slow. I'll give you that one. Valid, very valid. Roman Delidze. I mean, I hope you get knocked out if you're Delidze. I mean, I know you're Holland, but whoever was playing as Delidze deserves to get KO'd. Okay, McGregor better be getting sparked out here. Surely. Yeah, it's coming. Oh, no. It's coming. Oh, my days. Okay, that one was... Save the best to last. I'll give you that. Definitely save the best to last. Holy shit. Holy shit. But Inter Milan got 5 minutes. Yeah, PSG looked fucking phenomenal, man. Fucking phenomenal. Bro, really best place for MMA? Discuss. I mean, Volkanovski will tell you that, right? Right, LG? I mean, no brainer. Remember an Irish lad on a tough season who had an anxiety attack which caused his legs to cramp? That is crazy. Yeah, you're not wrong, bro. I know. I mean, I wouldn't say I've had anything that far. But, you know, I know what stress does, man. It's tough. It's tough. I understand it. Dartitis is the wildest one. Yeah, I've never had that. I do play darts. I have a dartboard here, just not in my room. Lost first round of my UFC 20 last night. Unlucky, brother. Unlucky. I haven't played it in a little while, so I'll probably get my ass handed to me if I tried one of those. Yeah. What's the best fight in UFC history according to you and some personal favorites? I always love this question. It does fluctuate, but I think for me, in recent memory, I mean, the one that always sticks out, whenever anyone asks this question, I won't say definitively it's the best fight ever, but the one that I always think of first, and I've said this on stream so many times, Prochazka versus Teixeira, UFC Singapore 275. That is complete MMA for me because it's back and forth, but it's also a perfect showcase of mixed martial arts in every facet. So you have the wrestling, you have the clinch work, you have the submission threats, you have the brilliant striking back and forth moments, and of course a great finish in the 5th round late to clinch it. I mean, it's phenomenal. That is my favorite fight ever, I think. I also love Poirier Dan Hooker back in lockdown. That was, you know, that was phenomenal for me. Love that one. I mean, just absolute apex barn burner classic. After that, I mean, in recent memory, there's UFC Sphere, Ribovic versus Zellhuber. What a fight that was. I mean, I'm sure you guys can shout ones out that I'm missing. Please do. Because if you have any, I feel like you're going to jog my memory and I'm going to start getting excited. So give me a couple. Throw me a couple of bones here, guys. Worker to Valsa, Aspinall trains with Wigan. Yeah, I mean, to an extent. JDM, yes, it's true as well. Very true. Pre-rolls to the evening. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Not for me personally, but each to their own. Wait, Burns fell against the cage? Yeah, man. That was a folding left hook. Half online, half against AI. Ah, nah. AI, I'm not counting it. Reyes Jiri. That's a great knockout, but I wouldn't say greatest fight. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference. Great. It's a fucking phenomenal knockout. One of my favorites too. A great shout if you're going in that regard. If we're talking about finishes, I'm with you. But Rivich Zoe was fucking cinema so good. That whole card was so nearly perfect. And the main and co-main stunk it up. Hamzat Burns, yeah, I liked Hamzat Burns. I didn't love it. It wasn't like it's never the first one or the first few that comes to mind for me. That's why it jogs your memory, you know. You know, at least for you guys. I didn't like love it as much as everyone else did. But it was a good fight. It was great to see, I mean, Chimaev looked mortal for the first time. And probably the only time, really. Yeah, credit to Gilbert Burns. What an absolute dog. Astro Harry's eating casserole. Probably that, Wolf. Probably the casserole. Hamzat Burns, you said. Yo, what's up, Abhinav, man? How you doing, brother? Good to have you back, man. One fight I find hard to watch would be Kane JDS 2. I could feel those punches. Yeah, man. That's a good shout. I've went, obviously, before my time in terms of watching MMA, but obviously I've gone back and seen it. Yeah. I mean, that whole era of heavyweights, just a lot of good sluggers in there, man. What's up, Mike? Nothing too much, just more that John Jones is being cryptic, and he said that he's somewhat agreed to it in a slightly vague answer, so I wouldn't take his word for it, but I don't know, man. Usman Willie's the best beatdown a champion got from a contender. I wouldn't call it a beatdown, though. It was just a lot of wrestling. I get what you're saying if we're talking about MMA, but there wasn't a lot of damage. You know, Tyron Woodley wasn't a bloody pulp at the end of 25 minutes. So with that reasoning, I can't say it, but I understand the sentiment. It was dominant, just not a beatdown. I think that's a strong word to use. Islam Poirier, yeah, it was a good fight, but it wasn't, you know, an all-timer. Diego, yeah, I hope so, man. Yeah, I did see it got moved. I think Burns is done. Yeah, if he's not, he should be. For his own sake. And now I just seen he's had a son, right? Didn't he post that today? For that reason, I think he has to be. Usman Burns was a nightmare to watch in COVID time. It was a great fight. What card was that on? I should know that. I want to say it was a 70 something, but I could be wrong. 273 maybe? I'm testing my knowledge here. No, was it? I don't know. It was 273. I'm fucking goated. Holy shit. How the fuck have I pulled that one out? Cerrone Perry was a great fight. Yeah, Cerrone. Donald Cerrone. Yeah, I don't remember that one. Whenever I think of Donald Cerrone, I think of that like 4-piece, 5-piece combination when he finishes with the head kick. You know, as much as I don't like the guy, that's a beautiful combo. Also, I forgot to say this. I worry that it's going to be weird if this guy's in the chat, but I got recognized on the way back from training yesterday. Shout out to that guy. If you're in the stream, shout out to you. I was on the way back from jiu-jitsu. I had a fucking great day of training, man. I felt great. Was whooping ass. 5 rounds. Felt great. I could have kept going for probably a few more. Came out. Was on the bus back, and some guy just taps me on the shoulder. He's like, yo, is this you? And whips out my channel. I'm like, yes, it fucking is. And shout out to him. He was very kind. And it was kind of weird. So, yeah. Shout out to that guy. He's in the stream. Appreciate you, man. Burns is 38. Yeah, old for all. Exactly. That's why I think he should pack it in. So after Tom beats Garner, Volkov, he retires or fights obese men. I mean, Tom will fight whoever the UFC puts in front of him. Volk with his wide stance and bald head is pound for pound #1 of all time. I won't go that far, but I prime Volk was different gravy, I have to say. Diego versus Clay. Clay Guida, yeah, great shout. That's a good fight, to be fair. 2 absolute dogs. One shout out to actually a knockout I really like. When you say Diego Sanchez, Matt the Immortal Brown versus Diego Sanchez. The elbow from fucking hell. That's one of my favorite knockouts in MMA history. Lawler McDonald, yeah, kind of boring for the first couple rounds though, so I wouldn't put that in there. Burns Colby's the fight to make. Yeah, I could see that. I like that actually. We're doing one fight for either of them. Yeah, sure. What's up? Is it Ivar? Yeah, is that how you pronounce it? If I butchered that, sorry, man. How you doing? It's good to have you back. I remember you said the pronunciation. Apologies if I've got that wrong. Did I get new glasses? I did a couple weeks ago. But not since you've been here recently. These are like last month, I'd say. 3 weeks, 4 weeks. What's up, Walnut? Good to have you back, my man. Corey Hooker was a treat. Such a good fight, man. Such a good fight. Izzy Gastelum, yeah, good one. That one fight of the year, and rightfully so, I believe. Yeah, what an awesome fight. Okay, K-Dot. Nice one. Uriah Hall one tough, scary. Yeah, it's a scary one. It's the ones that when people are silent, that's when it's scary. The one I think of for me in that sort of evoke those sort of emotions. Topuria Jai Herbert. Obviously, it was because I was there. It felt a bit different, but everyone went dead silent in the O2. Dead silent. When Topuria laid out Jai Herbert, I was like, man, this guy, he might be dead, brother. He might be dead. Good to see you. Appreciate it, man. Likewise. I hope you're well. I hope you're swell. And I hope life is treating you okay, my man. Armin's great match. I didn't watch it. I did see the finish, though. I did see the finish. Look for your ping the Discord. I don't have noties on, so apologies. Where did you ping me? I'll play matchmaker. Sorry, my bad. UFC Noche card builder. Lopez Yair main event for the. It's not a pay per view, is it? So I like that then. If it's not a pay per view, that's a good main event. Delidze versus Fluffy. Sure. Dawson Manuel Torres. Yeah, I like that. Rosas versus Johns. I'd give Rosas a bigger step up, you know. Delhuber Ribic too. I'd put that as the co-main. I don't know why that's. I get it as the opener to the main card. It kind of makes sense, but no, that's got to be co-main event for me. Aldana Aline Perez featured prelim. Nah, put Shirez Lacerda as the featured prelim. Martinez Almacan. That's a good fight. Rodriguez CJ Vergara. I guess. Montserrat and Don Haley Cohen. I don't know who they are. Roberto Romero Austin Bashi. Again, don't know who they are, but I've probably seen them fight. Melissa Martinez, Alice Arlene, I don't know who they are. Maybe I am the fucking casual. But the rest of the ones I like a lot, so. Herbert was twice his size. In reach, yeah, sure. There's a bit of an asterisk there. But that was terrifying to watch. Holy shit. Barboza Etim, I call that one the Lego Man stance. And the reason I say that is because when that spinning back kick landed on Terry Etim's chin, he went like this. You know? He's had the Lego hands like that. And he's just sitting like this. There's a few knockouts like that, but I think that's the best example. I always called it the Lego Man. Dustin Poirier Holloway 3. I'm just gonna say Dustin because I want him to win. Maybe that's not the smartest pick, but I don't give a fuck. Dustin winning in his retirement fight in his hometown for the BMF strap. It's gotta be done. Who was it Whitaker had the absolute war with just after he lost the belt? I mean, he fought Darren Till at Fight Island just after he lost the belt. Don't tell me. He had a big hiatus, didn't he? I don't remember him going to war with anyone. Shit, who did he fight? He cleared out a lot of people. He fought Jared Cannonier. He went on like a 4-fight winning streak, didn't he? Didn't fight Paulo Costa. He has fought Paulo Costa, but he didn't then. Romero, the 2 Romero fights he went to war with, but they were before. I don't know. I'm going to look it up. I'm trying to test my knowledge here, but I'm going to look it up. Because maybe I am the casual. I don't know, man. Let's have a look. I should know. I mean, no, he fought Darren Till, Cannonier, and then Gastelum. He didn't go to war with any of those guys. I'm assuming you mean the second Yoel Romero fight because he was the champion at that point. So I mean, maybe you're getting mixed up with that. But I can't think of anyone he's been to war with because he soundly beat Cannonier and Gastelum. Till was a close fight. And then the Vittori fight, he won easily. Paulo, he won. I mean, he got caught with that spinning wheel kick against Costa and got turned into the chicken man for about half a round. But I wouldn't say he's been to war in the same vein. Emmett, Bryce, Gary. Yes, great shout, Specky. 100%. How did I miss that one? That's like the most obvious, like, scary finish. Switch to next week. I've not been huge on Nintendo, so I'm not that excited. But I mean, for each to their own, I'm sure there are, yourself included, a lot of people excited for it. Favorite KO of all time, McGregor Aldo. I guess for what it represents, sure. But in hindsight, not a fan of the man, so I can't back it. Yes, Ming something. Yeah, that's a beautiful head kick that she pulled off. Francis sending Ubrim into space. Yeah, turning him into a Pez dispenser. That's a classic. Again, how am I missing the most obvious ones, man? Then he started running to buses. Who exactly? Sorry. When people go stiff like that, when people land flat in their face, yeah. There was one in recent memory that was a really bad stoppage because this guy took so much damage, and then he got knocked out cold. I think it was like 4 years ago, but he genuinely gets hit with like a big shot while he's bloodied up and bruised, and he basically just face plants out cold on the canvas. It was an obscure fight on a boring ass fight night, but it was like a really, really bad knockout, and the ref should have stopped it earlier. I don't know who it was that was fighting. Someone would have to find it. I'm sure you can in the compilation. Maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. I think he was wearing like blue shorts. It might have been in the Reebok days. It was quite a while ago. But it was, yeah, that one always sticks out to me. Beating Holloway as a retirement fight. I mean, I wouldn't say he's getting fed to Holloway. I mean, Dustin Poirier's beaten the man twice. Or before he had the strap. Yeah, probably. I mean, he lost the strap at that point. So, but Till did drop him with an elbow. So, RDR might beat Wicker. Yeah, he might. I think there's money on there. What's up, Mexican? Coming in with the weird shit as per, man. When Gonzaga folded Krokop, that's my second, maybe third favorite head kick of all time. Behind, obviously, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman in their rematch at 278. Salt Lake City, Utah. I will never forget that. But I think I always said Kevin Lee versus Gregor Gillespie is probably my favorite finish ever. If you look that one up, you guys will know. I've talked about it before on stream. That might be my favorite knockout of all time. Shout out Kevin Lee for that one. But Gonzaga Krokop, yeah, the way he folds him with the shin and he just drags his head down with it. Oh my God. And knocking out Krokop of all people with their head kick is wild, right? I mean, this is a man who was known back in his Pride era, for being the man who would finish everyone with a head kick. So to see a guy do it to him and in that vein, that like viscerally, what a fucking knockout. Great shout, Ariane. Great shout. Bisping sparking rock cold. Awesome finish, of course. 3-piece, yeah. And Masvidal Askren, I mean, I don't love. I don't believe a word Jones says. Dig, I don't either. Diaz Lawler back in Strikeforce. I thought you were going to say Diaz Lawler back in the UFC. Did they fight in Strikeforce? But the finish back in like the old days of the UFC, Nick Diaz finishing Robbie Lawler, that was like a big upset at the time. He just stuns him. Did they fight in Strikeforce? I don't think they did. Maybe you're thinking of the UFC. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Lawler's Strikeforce run. I don't see Nate Diaz in there, but they did fight. Obviously, they fought at 266, but then I'm talking the one back in the day where Nick stunned him. Do you mean Nick Diaz versus Paul Daly? They fought, right? That was always a classic. I think that's one of Dana White's favorite fights. He fought Paul Daly back in Strikeforce, I believe. Yeah. Defended the Strikeforce belt as well. Whitaker will steamroll RDR. I hope so. I like both guys, but I'm always a huge Whitaker fan, so I'm going to have to go with my boy Rob. Bisping Hendo, classic, of course. Yeah. It wasn't a leg kick. Doesn't he just step in? Pretty sure he just steps in with that left foot. Holloway Ilya was highly competitive. It was, but the problem with Ilya, it always takes one. And Ilya was obviously in that fight. He made good adjustments into the second round, and he was catching him flush. And you just can't do that, even if you've got a chin of iron. Listen, if Max Holloway can't even firm it, no one can. I know that's technically MMA math, and I don't like to use it too much. But Topuria's power is no fucking secret, and it's certainly no joke either. So Holloway was always going to lose that fight for me. Rose Whaley's a top 2 head kick. Oh, good shout. 261. That's my favorite fight card of all time. That came at the right time for me because I was going through a tough time at university. It was my first few months at uni, and obviously it was during COVID. And it sucked. So this was right when the UFC started picking back up in terms of bringing the crowd. It was the first live event back with the crowd after everything had been shut down. So it was a big deal, and it delivered, man. We had that. Weidman breaking his leg. Jimmy Crute getting a dead nerve in his leg. Obviously, the head kick you just mentioned. Shevchenko beating the shit out of Jessica Andrade. And, of course, Kamaru Usman knocking Jorge Masvidal stone cold out with that bomb of a right hand. I mean, that card is special to me. Just obviously for personal reasons, but it's also a fucking great card objectively. Wasting Tom's prime years out of spite. I agree. I don't really know what his game plan is, to be honest with you. Paige Van Zandt, one good KO. The switch kick. Oh, filthy. Yeah, great shout. That's a sleeper one. Not many people talk about that one. Picnic with one fighter. Probably Volk, man, because he'd cook up something good, man. He'd prep some steaks, you know? He'd have them. I could eat some cold steak easy. Like a steak sandwich, you know? He'd probably have those prep. What's next for Aljo? I like Arnold Allen, to be honest with you. That fight I like. That seems to have been in circulation for a while. So I've always wanted that. And I would have said Yair as well, but it looks like he's booked, so we'll see. Stream React, what you got for me, brother? You don't put anything in there, man. Oh, in general. That's not in there either. Oh, no, you put it in the Fight Night chat. I can't show that because I will get copyright claimed. Yeah. Yeah, I know which one you were talking about. Is it Ming Shea or Ming Fei? I've probably butchered that, but yeah, she had the fight on the road to the UFC thing, and then oh my god, that head kick is scary, scary man. I was getting absolutely random, but in the middle container, I think so. Much as I hate to say it. Tom Jones. Listen, yeah, I mean, John Jones was saying stuff at a seminar, saying that he essentially agreed to it and was waiting on the UFC's announcement. I don't believe that for a second. We just mentioned it earlier, but listen, John Jones is a man who likes to talk and not much else. He doesn't like to fight, but he fucking loves to talk. Sounds like me. John is absorbing the Thai boy's testosterone. Don't be surprised if he comes back ripped at 265 and Kimura's Tom in 1 minute. I doubt that very much, but what I will say is we spoke about this on the pod a couple weeks ago because Will, my co-host, Casuals Corner on Instagram, he was out there, and when Jones did the seminar, he heard through the grapevine that the guys at Bangtao that the seminar was crap. Jones turned up hungover as shit, stinking of alcohol, and basically half-assed a couple of basic moves and then left. And he, like, all the people were like, what the fuck? It was all a bit weird. And obviously, when there's cameras involved, he's not, he's putting on a show and putting on a face. But the reality of these situations is Jones is obviously not. I mean, this was a while ago, to be fair, but I doubt it was very much, I assume it was very similar in this same recent event that was today or yesterday when he was doing the seminar. So, never a good look. Arnold T's 155. He should stay at featherweight. I don't like that for him at 155. He is big for the weight class, but no. Last one, Garbrandt had that ducking right hook counter on someone he was losing to. Rafael Assunção, I don't think he was losing, but it was the buzzer beater knockout. Yeah. I don't forget. Awesome finish. One of my favorites. Buzzer beater, slip, right hand over the top, sparked Assunção out cold. Great finish. Last night's card was hand down the worst fight card of all time. I wouldn't go that bad. I think there was some good finishes on there. Jordan Levitt got a nice sub. Jacoby got an absolute fucking slugfest knockout. I'll tell you what a finish I love that no one talks about. I can't remember who his opponent was, but Jim Miller, like a year or two ago, it was against Austin something. Austin, like, what was it? Was it Austin something? Jesse Butler. Sorry, I was thinking Austin Butler. That's why. Yeah. Go look at, if you can find it on YouTube, Jim Miller knocking out, I mean, poor guy was making his UFC debut against Jim Miller on short notice. I mean, obviously that guy wasn't UFC caliber in hindsight, but watch Jim Miller versus Jesse Butler. That is the violence personified. That's one of my favorite knockouts in a while. And no one talks about it. Jones is a bad man pretending to be good. I think he's just a bad man and he just doesn't even give a fuck anymore. What about your tape regarding Aljo being the Bantamweight GOAT? Went back and watched the tape. And completely set in stone, Yarn, O'Malley are above him on the list. I don't think you can put O'Malley above Aljamain Sterling. And I don't think you can put Petr Yan above him either. I don't understand that, to be honest with you. The only one I'll make the argument for is Merab. And Merab, I'd probably change it to Merab now. If Merab wins against Sugar, I'd say Merab for 100%. I think the only argument you can make right now is Dom Cruz. It's those three in the conversation. No one else is in this conversation of being the Bantamweight GOAT. It's one of Sterling, Cruz, or Merab. And it's very close. Merab probably pips it if he beats Sugar in the rematch again. So we'll see. But you can't discount WEC run for Dominic Cruz because they didn't have those weight classes in the UFC at the time. So it may as well have been the UFC when the WEC with Dom Cruz leading the charge at bantamweight. That may as well have been the best division for those weight classes because it was. There was no better fighters anywhere else. So I count those as much. And with that in mind, I think you can make the argument for Cruz. And especially considering that layoff he had and coming back to fight TJ Dillashaw and winning the belt again, that's a phenomenal achievement. I'm happy to concede and say Dominic Cruz over Sterling, to be honest with you. I've kind of changed my tune on that regard because I value the WC a lot more than I used to. But Merab, I mean, I think Merab might pip it if he wins, man. But there's no way you're saying Sugar and Thingy are above him. No way. Gotta go study. It's all love, Ariane, man. Go cook those exams. Good luck to you. Have a good one, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Gaethje Johnson was a good watch. Yes. Only thing is the commentary kind of sucks because that was when they changed to... Was it ESPN or Fox? One of the two. And they had that annoying last... I mean, the guy's good for boxing, but not for MMA. Can't remember what his name is. Yarn one should have went to technical decision. No, I disagree. I mean, it was a DQable offense. Listen, you can say what you want about being acting. I do think there was some disingenuousness to it. But I don't even... Listen, put it this way, guys. I'll bring it to this statement because I feel like Sterling always got a lot of hate for this, right? When he took the knee from Petr Yan and won the belt on a disqualification. In my opinion, he should have been completely vindicated and cleared, and in my eyes, he was when he beat Jan in the rematch. But if we're talking about that isolated incident when he took that knee and then won the belt off a technicality, are you telling me you wouldn't do the same? Are you really telling me that? I mean, listen, so it's easy to say that you wouldn't do it, that you're an honorable person, but the reality is if you have the belt around your waist, you're making a hell of a lot more money than if you didn't. And especially in the UFC where you don't get paid shit, you're telling me you're not taking that opportunity? I'm taking that opportunity. And fuck it, if I lose the rematch, who cares? You know what I mean? I made more money on that fight with those pay-per-view points than I ever would have done by being honorable. I don't blame Sterling in the slightest. And who cares anyway, because he won the rematch and then went on to prove that he is championship caliber. More than enough when he beat Henry Cejudo and TJ Dillashaw. So, listen. And he had a very close fight against Movsar Evloev too. There's nothing that Sterling needs to do in this sport for me, in my eyes, to prove that he's one of the best ever in that weight class at Bantamweight. And I know we're talking featherweight at this point, but you understand what I'm saying. But put yourself in Aljamain Sterling's shoes back then, and you're telling me you wouldn't have taken that belt? You wouldn't have done it? Because I fucking would have done. Anthony Smith should have fucking taken the belt. He's an idiot for that. I get it. Wholesome 100. Respect moments in MMA. You're great. You're going to make a compilation. Take the fucking belt. That knee was way worse than the first one. He took that flush. Credit to him for eating it. And in a lot of ways, credit to him for not taking the belt. But you probably should have done it. Because at the end of the day, this game is about legacy, sure. But you got to feed your family, man. You got to feed your fucking family. And especially in this game when people don't get paid at all enough that they should. I'm taking that belt. I'm taking it. Maybe that makes me morally bankrupt. I don't give a fuck. I'm taking it. Go down on the scorecards and get fouled. You don't get the benefit of a DQ. I disagree, personally. It's context dependent, obviously, sure. But with a knee, like with those two knees, they were pretty bad. They were pretty bad knees. I think Sterling probably could have fought. But it was a bad knee, you know? It can affect you. You take a concussion like that can affect you for the rest of the fight. It's like, these things, they are affecting. They can change the course of the fight. And I know what you're saying, that Sterling was losing that fight. He definitely was. But it wasn't, you know? It wasn't dominant. Like, Jan was definitely up. It was clear scoring in my eyes, from what I remember. He was 3 rounds, 3-1 or something like that. Or 2-1 up. I don't know. But, listen. One-arm TJ and a big layoff Cejudo, which I still think he lost no way. Sterling definitely beat Cejudo. And Aljo fought what was in front of him. He didn't know. No one knew that TJ fucked up his shoulder. Did they? No one knew that. Bryce was shaking. Yeah, that was, I mean, if you're talking about rough finishes, yeah. What are your thoughts on Mighty Mouse helping train O'Malley in wrestling for his Merab camp? I like that. I mean, I think, sorry, I missed that comment, Wolf. I think the reality is with, if you're asking DJ for help, you know, Tim Welch is already one of the greatest minds in the sport right now, today. So I'm not surprised he's got Mighty Mouse on board to help Sugar because, I mean, that's one of the best fighters we've ever seen. Do I think it's the right answer? I don't know because I feel like stylistically he doesn't fight the same in the way Merab does. I think very few fighters do, to be fair. So I understand the situation. But, I mean, it's only a good thing, right? Learning from DJ, he's one of the smartest minds in the game from a fighter's perspective. He's got probably the best fight IQ I've ever seen. There might be some others I'm missing off the top of my head, but he easily comes to mind. And of course, he's one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time, and in my opinion, the greatest. So, one judge had Sterling winning. I didn't remember. Really? Well, there you go. That's what I mean. You never know. Remember to ask you something. Do you remember when Chael Ramley spread that rumor that Leon was out versus Usman and Conor was stepping in? I don't remember that. But that sounds like something Chael would do because he's the master bullshitter. They scored round 1-3. Jan would have won 29-28 if Aljo couldn't continue and judge the fight to that point. Yeah, but if it's round 1-3, but there's still it's MMA. Aljo could have come back and got a finish, or come back and won those next 2 rounds. So and that would have been it. You know, this is what I mean. It's like if he won the next 2 rounds, he's winning the fight. So I don't know. I don't think... listen, we can go back and forth on that. I don't really care. Like, it's what happened. What happened, and Aljo vindicated it. He vindicated that result in the rematch. So, I have no problems with him. I think O'Malley Merab will be a much better fight. Of course it will. Sean will make those adjustments. And again, as I mentioned Tim Welch earlier, they will be doing their fucking homework. But in my opinion, it's going to go the same way just because Merab is that good. And he is stylistically a tough matchup for Sean. He always will be. Just innately in the way they fight. The way Merab is in and out of range, very hard to pick up in the pocket, which is his biggest weakness, by the way, Merab, is those shots from the pocket. Those check left hooks coming off a scramble or a clinch. Sugar is never in those situations. He's an outside fighter. He plays from range with those 1-2s down the middle. He's never throwing short shots, very rarely. And he's never making it a scrappy fight. And with that in mind, he's playing it into Merab's hands. And I think it will go the same way. I think Aljo played it perfectly. There's no guarantee that he would have got back to the belt, or worse, we secured a rematch with Jan, which he won and secured a bigger paycheck. Exactly. Exactly, Jack. You're speaking my language. There's you're not telling me you would say no to taking that belt in his situation. You're not. Everyone's taking that belt. I don't give a fuck what you say. It's money. It's a career. And look, it worked out massively for him. He probably would have not got that rematch against Jan. I mean, he definitely wouldn't have done. Duck Bones will tell the truth when Trump does. So basically never then, Lawrence. I think we'll agree there. What about Cejudo versus Yadong? Banger. Yeah, it's a shame it ended how it did. Yeah, I like Song Yadong. It's just, it sucks. But, I mean, he won on the technical decision, right? So Cejudo, sorry, I apologize. When Cejudo was down on the scorecards, maybe, listen, I don't really give a shit about the technical decision stuff. Still context dependent. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know enough about the rule sets to determine what should be and shouldn't be. Sean needs to run a short uppercut like it's a jab to keep Merab at bay. It's a tough one to land, though, because if you whiff that, man, you know, he should definitely feint it, threaten with it. I think, again, I'm an armchair analyst speaking right now. Obviously, these guys know far more than we do, let's be real, but I can see what you're going for. I mean, I like the idea of knees. I'm sure we'll be looking for that more. The body kick had a big success for him late in that first fight, so I think he's just got to be a bit more smart from range, and that's difficult to do against a guy like Merab, who's so mobile, so active all the time, and feinting in and out. He's hard to get a read on. It is going to be difficult, but, you know, you got to be the best to beat the best, so, you know, Sean's got to get through it. Tough challenge, but he can do it. He can do it, you know. You don't become a champion for a reason unless you're fucking good at mixed martial arts, so, you know, the odds are good. Merab is definitely the favorite, but I won't rule it out. If you can't continue, you don't get the benefit of doubt if you're down on the scorecards. That doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest with you. Because if I just went and kneed you in the balls when I'm up 3 rounds, I could just end the fight right there and then. How does that make any sense? If I know I'm convincingly up 3 rounds in a championship fight, and there's 2, or I'm up 2 rounds, let's say, and you know, and I could just knee my opponent in the balls and he can't continue, and then I win on a technical decision, how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? Pump feint, Sean uppercut, knees up the middle. Sean should just take him down off the bat round 1. No, that is... I agree with the first part. The second, absolutely not. So many examples of illegal knees going to an NC rather than a DQ. It should be equal not to one or the other. Like Walker versus Ank should have been a DQ against Ank. If Jan was DQ versus Aljo, I don't know. There's so many examples you can pull up that I just can't, like, you know what I mean? There's very much a back and forth kind of vibe. I don't know. Oh, my hair is a fucking mess. Bro, I got my hair cut. Probably didn't even clock. I got the sides sharpened down. Look, we're looking fly, boys. Get that loose strand. Look at that. Clean. Just a bit more. We're a bit tidied up. Still long, though. A bit too long at the back. I don't know. I think it's looking decent. A little messy, maybe. I care way too much, do I not? I'm really just making... This is like optimal. I care more about this than my fucking YouTube career. Ah, fuck it. I can't be bothered anymore. There we go. I read that already. My apologies. On top of that, I can't respect Aljo as a man. Not taking the belt because of his cowardly practice of going on his knees after failing a takedown. Listen, they changed the rules. He played the rules. I think that's smart, if anything. Mate, if you can exploit a loophole within the mixed martial arts rule set, I'm taking it. You want any edge. The margins are so fucking thin in this game. They are so thin. And if there's an advantage that no one else is capitalizing on and it's there for the taking, I'm taking it. So I don't blame Aljo for doing that. It's a smart move. If it wasn't smart, they wouldn't have changed it. If it wasn't effective, they wouldn't have changed it. But it was, and they did. So I got no reason to be mad at Sterling for that. What would you have been willing to do on stream if Batiste had beaten Chelsea? Probably not a lot. I would have been pissed. What's up, Sammy? I did, man. Dominant. Beautiful football. Football won that night. Absolutely beautiful football from PSG. in a final as well. On your knees in front of a man. This is a combat sports setting. That's like saying a wrestler is. I mean, every time Khabib shoots for a fucking like double leg takedown or a single leg takedown, and there's a moment where he's on his knees there for a split second when he slides for that shot. Same thing. I listen. I'm not going to pretend and sit here and say wrestling is more exciting than the striking areas of mixed martial arts, because it's not. But it's a perfectly valid way to win. Is your look ironic? Funny, T. Thank you. No, it's not. I just don't care. I look how I want to look. I think everyone should act like that. I don't really give a shit what people think. But I appreciate the, well, not so kind words, but you're entitled to your opinion, my man. And I'm entitled to mine. I think I look great, bro. I think I'm looking fly. Benavides would tell you to, yeah, that. Not meant as a diss, it's all love, man. No worries. You're not telling me this jacket ain't fucking heat, though. The Volkanovski special. I think it's fire. There's a reason I fucking wear it all the time. That Spurs team is going to have to face that PSG team. Yeah, God forbid. That'll be the most open game. Well, no, it'll probably be like fucking... Yeah, there'll be more goals than that, though. I doubt PSG will keep a clean sheet against that Spurs side. If Ange stays. It's like saying Jones is genius for keeping his hands open in front of his opponent's eyes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, not exactly. I mean, he did it because he got away with it. That's why. The reason he did it is because they didn't enforce it enough. Yeah, that makes him dirty. There's a distinction there, though, because that was actually that would evoke a foul. I wouldn't say Sterling's was the same, because Sterling wasn't actively pushing for a foul. Yes, it could have caused a foul with what he used to do by, going on all fours. You're tempting the idea of that, but you're not seeking out the foul in the same way that Jones's eye pokes actively were. So I don't count that in the same vein. New glasses make a good difference. The old one needed to go. You should have told me, man. I mean, I agree. I just didn't clock how much better I look with new ones in. I look more distinguished. I look like I'm actually smart, despite the fact I'm definitely not. I think it gives me a bit more, yeah. What's the word I'm looking for? I'd say distinguishedness, but that's not even a word. Prestige. That's the one. I look fly. I look dapper. But it's a facade. I'm fucking stupid. I just like yapping about MMA. I did say long ago. Fair enough. I don't remember, but you are. If you did, and I'm assuming you did, you're not wrong, my man. So thank you. I mean, it was long overdue. I have considered the eye surgery as well. Maybe I'll do that one day. It's actually not too bad. I can't afford it. Got my last 2 A-levels exam. Good luck, man. I can't even relate to that, of course, because I didn't even fucking do the exams due to COVID, but which is still wild to me. But good luck, brother. Their mocks were stressful as fuck at the time. So good luck. I hope they've gone well for you so far. And remember, if it doesn't go your way, it literally doesn't matter, man. University is not. If you're going to uni for a creative degree, it's a fucking waste of money anyway. The only good thing you're getting out of it is the life experience. That's the best part of uni. Is the independence. If you're going for anything that's not a creative degree, then it's actually worth it, but you don't need uni. As much as schools will try and indoctrinate you and convince you that you basically have to go to university or you're going to die and explode, it's not the case. You don't need it. I did not need to go to university to do what I'm doing right now, did I? So, However, he's just keeping his fingers open. His opponents are fouling. Come on, bro. His opponents are running into his fingers. You and I both know that's not true. Yeah, I know you're trying to rage bait here. You know that's not true. Let's be real. Come on, man. You're better than that, K-Dot. You're better than that. You're so much better than that. Oh, the Pantoja gets to Kaikara France. I mean, that's a bold assumption. I think styles make fights, and that's a tough one for both men. But I would pick Pantoja. I do agree. Who do you want to see him next? I'd love fucking DJ to come back and just show the levels. But even at his age, I don't know. That's probably not going to happen. I mean, I know it makes no sense, but hypothetically, I would love Lonnie Kavanagh to get some action in there. But he seems to be rumored to fighting Charles Johnson, which is a great fight. Great little fight. Almost a big step up. He's a big step up for Lonnie, but it shows how much, faith they have in him. They know him. They think he's the next big thing, and I totally agree. I think he's phenomenal, and I think he will be a champion. Too soon for him now. So we're talking about Pantoja. I mean, everyone talks about the Moreno rematch. Again, I don't love it as much as their last fight at 290 was awesome. I don't particularly want to see it again at the moment. Fuck it. Throw Manel Cup in there. That'll be fun. You were back, George. You did say it, man. Hope you're good. Good to have you back. Pantoja, Loki finishing DJ no cap. Well, yeah, DJ's fucking 38, 39. He probably would. Urseg low. I mean, great. Their first fight was very close, for sure, but no. Urseg, I mean, at this point, Urseg doesn't deserve it. I mean, the poor guy's been on a tough run. MMA giveth and MMA taketh, you know? It does. But yeah, Manel Cup. I mean, fuck it. Haven't they fought already, actually? I believe they have. I might be wrong there. I mean, half of the fucking Pantoja, the UFC flyweight top 15 is all fought each other. So I think they have. Didn't Pantoja just drag him out with a few subs? Okay, UFC stats is not working. Pretty sure they have fought. No. Oh, they have. Yeah, they have. In 2021. Yeah, Pantoja beaten by decision. Damn, Pantoja's got a crazy resume, right? Holy shit. You guys have license plates? Yes, we do. Mate, we don't live in the Stone Ages, mate. Fucking hell. Run the remainder rematches if 320 stayed in Mexico. Agreed. That would make sense. Ursig should have fought Kaya Sakura. Yes, I agree. That makes perfect sense. Great shout, Ivar. If it is Ivar, apologies if it's not. Again, I'm trying to remember. That's a good one. Kaya's booked against Tim Elliott. Do you mean Cup? Who? What? Kai Kara France. Obviously, you're not talking about him. He's already booked for the title, so I'm not sure who you're referring to. Unless you mean Manel Cup. Oh, Kaya Sakura. What am I fucking talking about? Holy shit, I'm so stupid. I just said his name, bro. Oh my god. Sakura Elliott? I mean, poor Tim Elliott, bro. That's a tough one. I think that's a bit harsh, to be honest with you. I think the Urseg fight makes much more sense. I agree with the other one. Jesus Christ. My brain is fucking fried, bro. Fried brain. He should have asked. Yeah, agreed. I mean, credit to Asakura for just stepping up like that. I mean, they gave him the opportunity and he said, fuck it, I'm taking it. You know, why wouldn't you? First fight in the UFC for a title, I'm going for it. Good chance. Yeah, he's crafty, man. In the words of Lucas Tracy, he's a crafty vet, Tim Elliott is. Gave Mohamed Makayev a pretty tough time. And he's had some good wins here and there. Is he coming off a win recently, or did he lose his last fight? He had like a nice... He was gathering some serious momentum not that long ago when he was under James Krause. Yeah, he's Suma Derji. He fucking arm triangled him. I mean, to be fair, he's won 3 of his last 4. Obviously, lost to Makayev, but before that, he beat Tagiru Lebenkov, which is a nice win. That win has aged really well. So shout out to Tim Elliott for that. You know, and Victor Altamirano, I don't know who that is. He lost to says Nikolaus Shaw. But he's only lost to the best, you know. Brandon Royval, Askar Askarov, Davison Figueiredo. He on a 3-fight losing streak at one point to those 3 guys. All of those dudes have either been champions or a championship caliber, you know? So, I you know, can't fault the guy. You know, he's a crafty vet. Crafty vet. Fight against DJ was great, yeah. I mean, just shows, you know, DJ's fucking going, obviously, but no shame in losing to that, man. Hasn't fought since 2023. It has been a while. December 2023. So yeah, a while, like a year and a half. It has been a while. I've seen longer layoffs, though. I'll say that. I've seen longer layoffs. What's the weather saying? I'm going out right after this, so I got to make sure I'm not freezing my balls off. Yeah, I'm chilling. It's lovely weather here in the UK. Nice and warm. Try to see my Twitter best friend go out cold. Who? No, yeah, who's the one you always glaze on Twitter? You always post in the Discord, or you have? Oh, Tim? Oh, yeah, he liked your tweet. And I can say that. Bizbing liked my tweet. Paddy Pimlet subscribed to my channel, and he commented on my video. So, I've one-upped you there, man. Sorry. Well, over here, like, every third card just doesn't have one. Really? Isn't that illegal? Do you think Renat Fakhretdinov should fight for a ranking? He's on a nice run, isn't he? I just know who he is, but I can never remember who he fights. He's got bald with that massive beard. Who did he fight in his last one? Damn, he ain't even fucking lost. What the fuck? He had a draw against Dos Santos, so there's Zaleski Dos Santos, but... Yeah, he beat Nicholas Dolby, but didn't he kind of get robbed? Dolby got robbed in that fight, right? Oh, yeah, he subbed Kevin Lee. Brian Battle, that's a good win. Win over Brian Battle is legit. Sure. I mean, he deserves it. I know the Derby decision was very much contested, but at the end of the day, he's got the win on his scorecards. Sure, give him the ranked fight. Makes sense. Oh, James Krause, okay. Not for me, personally. I mean, fuck knows what he's doing now. I think he's actually, no, he's still coaching at Glory MMA. I did it on my video when I was researching it. That caught me off guard because the last time I looked into that, he was doing some real estate shit, was kind of off the grid socially, on social media wise. And now he seems to be back at Glory MMA, just coaching jiu-jitsu. He binged all of the Tough seasons on Fight Pass the last couple weeks. I've never watched it. I never watched the season of Tough. I've trained with an app. That's why I'm asking. Nice, man. Yeah, he's. I like him. Again, I did think I love Nicholas Dolby, and I felt bad for him in that fight because I did think he deserved it. But Bakradinov was talented, man. And how many wins is that? I mean, how many? He hasn't lost in. He ain't lost in 12 fucking years. That is insane. He's 23-1, 23-1-1. So that is pretty nuts. So credit to him. And a win over Brian Bowden. Obviously, a washed Kevin Lee, but still Kevin Lee. And Dolby's a good win. Carlos Leal, I can't remember who he fought. He's not a big name, so I'm not going to jump the gun on it. But, I mean, Carlos Leal is okay. So, sure. But I think, yeah, ranking, sure, he deserves a ranking fight. That makes sense to me. And the students get cares I catch me if you can't watch long. I'd get copyright claims, so no. Tough is good telematch, tough as fuck. To be fair, the new season, I mean, Chael Sonnen back on Tough. I mean, I might have to give it a watch. I want to see an I Can't Let You Get Close sequel, spiritually. Zero age, but if Aljo took all the steroids and fought Volk 1,000 times, he'd win 0 times. I disagree. Aljo could very much beat Volk. Stylistically, it's a good fight for him. They all got Roberts winner. I don't remember the fight, so I couldn't tell you. Watch Tough season 1, mate. I'll have a look. I mean, Rampage smashing the door is an all-time clip for me. I love that. How the fuck does Volk even have that level of grappling and striking? Hard fucking work and a great mind for the sport. That's what it is. And great coaching. Macy Barber indeed had a seizure. It's a crazy liability putting her back out there. I'm curious how they handle this. It's interesting. We've never seen something like this happen on this scale, like right before an event that's this serious. So again, I think the jury's still out. We haven't got official news on what the cause was, right? So I'm not 100% sure. But if it was a seizure, then yeah, the UFC have got to... I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds harsh. It is the fighter's responsibility to an extent, and their team, and the team she's got behind her. It's not on the UFC in that regard. It's not even about the UFC at all. It's about the commission. They deem whoever someone's cleared to fight or not. It's not to do with the UFC, so I can't fault them. So I think when you're saying about how they handle this, I'm assuming you're talking about the commission and not the UFC. Can you feel me on Jones? What happened? He's just waffling a bit more, my man. Timothy answers my question on Twitter all the time. Like, I had him on a random post who slandered him, and he replied, "He's the guy." He seems like a cool dude. Feel bad for him. Didn't his wife cheat on him with his best man or something at the wedding? Crazy. Aljo's like a pest, and Volk is a giant. Aljo has Ronda Rousey boxing. He'd get TKO'd over dominate. I don't think you can say that with any sense of certainty when you're talking about two champions. We're talking about two of the best ever. Aljo's one of the best in his weight class. Volk is arguably the best in his weight class, if not definitely the best. Aldo being probably the only exception there at featherweight. And with that in mind, you cannot say that fight is going to be dominant. I just don't see it. Islam can't take you down. Aldo definitely ain't. It's MMA math, man. It doesn't work the same. It just doesn't. I think it might have been the weight cut. Could have been too much. Oh, 100% that was probably a big factor for it. That's what usually the cause for concern is with that kind of thing. It is the weight cut. Again, that is Macy's choice and responsibility. She takes on those risks in the same way that Kayla Harris does the same thing going to bantamweight in the UFC. You know, obviously she has no other option, but she chose to sign for the UFC knowing full well the weight cut would be difficult. It's a challenge and, it's a risk. You're starving your body of fluids. It's a dangerous thing to do. You are dehydrating yourself to a serious level. So that is on Barber, but I don't know. Regardless of her responsibility towards that and how it's all played out, I find what Erin Blanchfield said pretty despicable, to be honest with you. That really rubbed me the wrong way. Strange. Which UFC event is that, Jacket? Hamzat. I'm glad you're asking. That's definitely the Hamzat. It is UFC 314 press conference. Alexander Volkanovski. Him versus Lopez, that presser. He was wearing the jacket, and I saw that. I was like, they've got to fucking sell this shit. And lo and behold, they fucking did. And best believe I copped it. He made it, man. You're here for literally about a minute. I'm literally about to jump off because I gotta go. I'm meeting some friends this evening, so a little bit late, my man. Next time, brother. Next time. I'll just Volk wet dream. I do think Volk would win, but I just don't think it's a certainty. Nothing is in MMA. How much? About £75. That was including postage. So if you live in Australia, it would be cheaper, but it comes out of Perth. So if you're anywhere else in the world, which you most likely are, it's going to cost you a little bit more. I got 75. So about £75, whatever that is for your usual rate, something like that. You've had Teen One spent €200 on it. Damn, that's pretty cool. Where was that from? I don't even have time to ask to even find out the answer because I'm gonna have to rush it and jump in. Yeah, Specky, you paid the same price for me then, man. It was like £65 and then I had the postage in and then plus a discount code. It ended up about £73, I think. It took about two and a half weeks to arrive. Reno can shake your friends behind, test their black belt. Believe me, I've been there and done that. They don't like it. I would never lock up the choke. Great flirting tactic as well. Not on my friends, of course. Anyway, gentlemen, ladies, or whatever you identify as, it's 2025. All right, you can see the fit. I got the shorts on, bro. It's nothing crazy. This is basically just the jacket. We got the cold jacket. Ignore the shirt. I got the Chelsea shirt underneath just because I didn't have anything else on. Yeah, clip it. Fuck you. All right, I gotta go. Have a good one. I'm gonna love you, leave you, stay safe, stay hydrated. It's important in this hot weather. Have a good one, and I will see you on Thursday. I think. Yes, Thursday. See you later, people. Have a good one.